Well, hello there, one and all. Thank you very much for joining me here today. This is Grace Clark, live from Riverside Radio Studios in Battersea Park, London, bringing you the Woe Pony podcast. Claps for Grace, claps for myself. Thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you're having a delightful day. This is being recorded on Wednesday, the 7th of December, and let me tell you, it is freezing outside. I do need to get some new gloves. Every time I buy a pair of gloves, you know, your £1 gloves that you can get from Primark, I mislay them. They leave me. They vanish into thin air. They wander off. They do the little hand thing from the Addams Family and they just... See ya! See ya! If you are an avid listener of the Woe Pony podcast, you will know that each week we choose a topic. Usually I've got some stories that are shocking, outrageous, weird, odd to share with you. And today's topic of the week is Christmas! Woo! To be specific, Christmas drama. Family drama, friends drama at Christmas time. I found some outrageous stories to share with you on the internet, as per usual. They are frankly frightening. Some of them are Christmas Day stories, some of them at the table at the Christmas dinner, some of them at the lead up, some of them from Thanksgiving, which is basically Christmas. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you'll notice that there's a Christmas tree behind me in the studio, which I didn't put there. It was there when I came in, and it does have lights on it. But I don't know how to change the setting because at the moment they're just blinky and I don't want that. I just want one steady colour or maybe a soft fade, you know. I don't want the mad blink. It's got a cute star. I don't know if you can see that. You see the star? Oh no, the boom's in the way. Never mind. I mean, it's just your average star. But anyway, yeah, thank you very much again. Camilla Cabello says, Christmas. If you haven't seen that... well, it's become a meme, but if you haven't seen the video of Camilla Cabello singing any Christmas song, she, for some reason, pronounces Christmas as Quismois. And I'm obsessed with it, and I can't stop doing it. I'll be around the flat, I'll be doing some laundry, I'll be washing up, and I'm constantly going, Quismois. And I can't stop. I really, really would recommend it. Just type it on YouTube, go on TikTok, Instagram, anything. There's also a lot of funny memes from it, and God bless you at Christmas time, Camilla Cabello. So yes, today's topic of the week is Quismois, specifically Christmas drama, family-based Christmas drama that's happened on Christmas Day at the dinner, Thanksgiving, because that's basically Christmas in my eyes. There's probably some Americans screaming at me right now, but hey, let's go, shall we? Let's go! Okay, first story. So it wasn't my family, thank God, but one of my friends, her uncle got caught cheating at the dinner table when his phone buzzed and her aunt saw the incoming text. Started screaming and crying, throwing her dinner at him. Oh gosh. My friend dared to laugh, so then her aunt turned on her and started insulting her weight and how she'd never get a man. So then the mum stands up and starts to yell and the whole family gets involved. The aunt starts to insult everyone, calling them backstabbers and lowlifes, and then calls me an intruding so-and-so. I've never visited a friend over the holidays since. There is so much to unpack here, so much to unpack. This wasn't even at your own family's dinner, this was at your friend's. Your friend's uncle got caught cheating at the dinner table. The aunt starts screaming and crying, throwing the dinner. Your friend laughed. The aunt turns on her. Oh gosh, there's just so much to this. And then you get yelled at. Doesn't sound like fun, but also at the same time, it does kind of sound quite fun. Let's move on to the next one. A few years back, one of my siblings must have ticked my mother off. With all of the stress of the past couple of days, she just snapped and fully pushed the Christmas tree over and took a saw to make tiny pieces out of it. Oh my goodness. True story, and that woman is 5'2". Same. Oh gosh, imagine annoying your mum so much that she throws the Christmas tree over and then goes out of her way to get a saw, go and find a saw in the garage or in the garden, and then she comes back in and starts cutting tiny pieces off of it. You must have really, really annoyed her. Oh. My mum was cooking dinner for around 14 of us, family and close friends. So naturally we had to make do with whatever we could, as we weren't used to having this many people for dinner. My mum sets the table and lets everyone know their place, and it just so happens that my older sister, who was 22 at the time, gets a plate that's different to everyone else's, and she throws a full tantrum. She kicks off. My mum is so stressed. She spends the rest of the dinner throwing up. Safe to say it was an awkward dinner. You, 22-year-old, kicked off of a plate being different and stressed her mum out so much that the mum is sick for the rest of the evening. That's not very nice, is it? I would never do such a thing. Well, I wouldn't kick off about a plate, for a start. As long as there is food on that plate, I don't care what it looks like. You could give me a paper plate. You could give me a piece of paper, literally from the printer. As long as it's got food on it, I don't really care. I don't really care. If I didn't have food like everyone else, then sure. But the plate, I don't care. Honestly, what's the world coming to? Next one! My grandmother went out to the garage to smoke after Christmas dinner and intentionally slammed her arm in the car door, breaking her wrist in the process. Why? She wanted to see if her pain medication was working. Needless to say, her experiment caused us to spend the rest of Christmas in the emergency room. I think it's nervous laughter. I've got a lot of questions. Okay. Why did she do that? Why did she do that? Okay. Next story. I'm a little bit traumatised by that. My brother, who was in town for Christmas with his pregnant wife and toddler, was extremely moody, so I called him out on it. It turns out his wife was having an affair that lasted their entire marriage and courtship, which was 8 years plus. He found out about it because for Christmas he gave her a new phone. He's a tech guy, so he was transferring all of her information to the new phone and doing backups. The other man was texting her about how he enjoyed their latest tryst a week before, when she was on a business trip, supposedly. Oh. My brother was devastated and broke down, telling me, "We're still not sure of the paternity of the second child, and she still doesn't know that I know. It's been a year." Okay. In next one, my mum and my dad's sister have not been fond of each other. No. Okay, let's start again. My mum and my dad's sister have not been fond of each other for over 20 years. Yeah, I was correct. Okay. 2 Christmases ago, it finally all came to a head when my 6-foot-tall aunt, 6 foot tall, mouthed off to my sweet little 5'1" mum for the last time. My mum knocked her out with one punch. No one in my family is fond of my aunt, so we just left her there. When she came round, she called the cops, and the cops were just annoyed that they were called at Christmas, and so they said it was a family dispute and left. Oh gosh, that's so funny. These 2 sisters, one's 6 foot tall and one's 5'1". You don't hear of that much, do you? And she launched at her. She was like Super Mario bouncing from the mushrooms, and she bounced and punched her in the face. Okay. Moving on. Growing up, we always went to my aunt and uncle's house for Christmas Eve dinner.
Christmas Eve dinner? Ooh, aren't you fancy?
Who can be bothered to do anything on Christmas Eve, to be honest? Once I'm in the house. Once I am in the house for the eve, I'm in. And I'm ready for Santa to come. I ain't doing a dinner. It was usually a full house of about 35 people or more, all family. That is a lot of family members. One Christmas Eve, we were all sitting down to dinner when my Aunt Elle, whose house it was, got into an argument with her sister, Aunt R. It escalated to the point where they were screaming at each other, and my sister, cousins and I were being herded into the basement to go play. It ended when my other Aunt M yelled that she was sick of the family drama and it was time to come clean. Should we place bets on what it is? She announced that my oldest cousin was not the biological daughter of Aunt Elle, but was actually R's child.
The scandal!
Apparently when R got pregnant, she was too young and irresponsible to raise her, so Elle stepped in and took over. You could have heard a pin drop in that moment. That is shocking. Gosh, that is shocking. Oh gosh, and it all came to a head, eh? It all came to a head. Can you imagine that? Like grown women screaming at each other in front of kids on a happy day.
Christmas, woo!
My dad still isn't over the fact that I broke off an engagement 3 years ago. Every holiday dinner, he somehow slips in how I have robbed them of their perfect son-in-law. And on that note...